We need to buy time to vaccinate more and more Indians before we can return to normal. The government says if the containment measures, COVID-appropriate behavior slackens, cases can rise again. People fully vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine have 5 times lower antibodies against the Delta variant first identified in India, says Lancet Research recommends a shorter gap between doses of the vaccine. The ferocity of the second wave prompts the RBI to cut India's growth rate to 9.5%. The GDP forecast prioritizing reviving growth. The bank keeps interest rates unchanged. After coming under fire from the opposition for selling COVID vaccines to private hospitals at hefty margins, the Punjab government backtracks, cancels the sales promises and investigation. A worrying situation in the hill state Uttarakhand with a severe shortage of vaccine doses. Vaccinations dropped by 38% in the month of May. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Our top story: with 1.32 lakh new COVID cases reported in 24 hours, the number of active COVID cases in India has dipped further. India is witnessing a declining trend in the weekly and daily positivity rates. India's weekly positivity rate currently stands at 7.27%. This is the 11th consecutive day when we've registered a daily positivity rate less than 10% at 6.37% today.
इसको हम धीरे धीरे अपना बिहेवियर को एडजस्ट करेंगे, टाइट्रेट करेंगे, टाइट रोप वॉक करेंगे तो वेव छोटी भी होगी, शायद ना भी आए और आगे चलती जाएगी. कहने का मतलब यह है कि वी हैव टू बाय टाइम एंड वी वांट टू बाय टाइम particularly to ensure that we achieve a high coverage of our vaccine. And in the meanwhile, continue to enforce the tools that my colleague showed just now. Testing, tracking, isolation, self-discipline, wearing mask, avoiding gatherings, avoiding parties, eating together in large groups.
Now, the reason this is so worrying, the Delta variant of COVID or the coronavirus strain which was first detected in India is highly infectious, fast spreading and drove the savage second surge of COVID in India, a government study has found. The Delta variant is in fact 50% more contagious than the Alpha strain, the study says. Also, UK's Public Health England, which monitors the COVID variants in the UK, has also said that early evidence suggests there may be an increased risk of hospitalization with the Delta variant compared to the Alpha variant, but adds that more data is needed. The Delta variant has now emerged as the dominant strain in the UK over the Alpha strain, which was first discovered in Kent in England. In other news related to the new variants, people fully vaccinated with the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine are likely to have more than 5 times lower levels of neutralizing antibodies against the Delta variant, which was first identified in India compared to the original strain. This is the latest research which was published in the Lancet journal. The antibody response was even lower in people who had only received 1 dose of the vaccine. The study therefore suggests that the best way to do this to protect people is to quickly deliver the second doses and provide boosters to those whose immunity may not be high enough against these new variants. So, the impact of the variants on the vaccines. Now, as the second wave of corona subsides, stories are emerging from the villages of Maharashtra of devastated families destroyed by the second wave financially and emotionally. Some even ill-fated with having to play God, pick and choose between sick family members with shortage of drugs, beds and oxygen, having to choose whom to treat.
68-year-old Mohammad Hanif Sheikh from Tembhurli village in Solapur is no more. His 7-member family is now down to just 2. 5 died after contracting the COVID infection. Only his son Bhaiya Sheikh and 16-month-old granddaughter survived.
इन 9 दिनों के अंदर मेरे घर में 5 लोग इस दुनिया से जा चुके हैं, मगर कोरोना से जाने से ज़्यादा इनको इलाज जो सही नहीं मिला है दवाखानों में, अस्पतालों में, इससे लोग मरे हैं.
Abhilash from Puntamba village in Ahmednagar has come with his sister-in-law and nephews to offer flowers at the graves of his 4 family members. Between 21st April and 5th May, he lost his mother, elder brother and 2 maternal uncles to COVID. He says he could not find remdesivir on time, which could have saved the lives of his mother and brother. He had to choose who would get the life-saving medicine, as he could not find enough doses for both.
डॉक्टर लोग पहले से बोल रहे थे रेमडेसिविर लाओ, रेमडेसिविर इंजेक्शन लाओ. कहाँ से रेमडेसिविर लाओ? रेमडेसिविर कहीं पर भी नहीं मिला. एक रेमडेसिविर मिला, डॉक्टर के पास गया, एक मिला. डॉक्टर बोल रहा इधर तेरी माँ है, इधर तेरा भाई है, अभी क्या करने का तू ही बता, किसको बचाने का, क्योंकि दोनों भी मरने वाले. किसको बचाने का तेरे हाथ में. मेरे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. मैं बोला डॉक्टर मैं कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकता, आपको जैसा करने का आप वैसा करो.
But perhaps the most tragic story is of the Zimur family from Shirshi village in Sangli district. No one survived. Sahadeva contracted COVID and then his wife Sushila too. Their son Sachin, who is a software engineer, returned from Mumbai to support them. He also caught the disease and in a span of 13 hours, all 3 died.
माझे सासू सासरे आणि माझा दीर जो माझा सचिन छोटा ह्यांची परवा दिवशी प्राणज्योत मावली. खास करून माझ्या पतीचे 2 हात असणारे त्यातला उजवा हात निकळलेला आहे. आम्ही पूर्ण जिमूर कुटुंबीय कोलॅप्स झालेला आहोत.
COVID has impacted lives of people in unfathomable ways, but perhaps these families that have lost their loved ones feel the impact of the second wave of the pandemic the most. These 3 families have lost multiple members to COVID. Their grief is perhaps yet another reminder as to why people need to take precautions seriously and follow COVID norms in these difficult times. With Sunil Singh in Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Now, after a backlash, the Punjab government has backtracked, withdrawing an order where it allowed the sale of vaccines to private hospitals. This after opposition Akali Dal highlighted how these vaccines were being sold at higher rates than they were procured.
Amid shortage of vaccine at government-run centres, a long queue at the Fortis Hospital in Mohali.
कुछ टाइम पहले तक तो अभी यही था, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में 45 प्लस की वैक्सीनेशन हो रही थी और प्राइवेट में 18 प्लस. तो इसी इम्प्रेशन से फोर्टिस में हमने अपॉइंटमेंट जब भी खुली तो हमने उसमें ले ली.
But will private hospitals too run out of vaccines soon? In a U-turn, the state government has withdrawn an order for selling vaccines to the private hospitals. The decision came after the state's move was criticized. Punjab received 1.14 lakh Covaxin at rupees 420 per dose. 40,000 doses were sold to private hospitals at rupees 1,060 per dose. The private hospitals fixed the rate at rupees 1,560 per dose. The Punjab government made a profit of over 2 crores.
मैं strongly सख्त तो सख्त लफ्ज़ां नाल ऐ सरकार नूं मैं निंदा करदा ते मैं जल्दी ही असी जे लोड़ पई जे इन्हां ने वापस सारा ते असी हाई कोर्ट भी जावांगे ते सारिਆਂ ਦੀ इंक्वायरी कीती जाऊगी जिन्हां लुੱਟਿਆ इन्हां ने.
Quoting the NDTV report, the Union Health Ministry wrote to the Punjab government asking them to respond to the sale of vaccines. After first claiming to be unaware of the alleged scam and saying the Chief Secretary was responsible, the State Health Minister later withdrew the order.
जो कोई फैसला हुआ कल आज उसने हमने वापस ले लिया और बकायदा जितनी वैक्सीन के स्टॉक में है वो सारी हम वापस लेंगे, प्लस जो उन्होंने यूटिलाइज की है उसकी भी हम वापस लेंगे.
Though the state is yet to respond to the centre's letter asking them about the details of the entire vaccine selling controversy, but it certainly looks poor as far as vaccine management is concerned in Punjab at a time when the state is reporting highest COVID fatality rate. In Chandigarh, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
Getting the first vaccine shot is still a dream for many, especially for people living in villages of Uttarakhand. It's been over 2 months that the hilly state saw a steep decline in vaccination. Here's a special report by Akshay Dongre.
50-year-old Khushiram in village of Pauri Garhwal says the villagers here have been waiting for vaccines for the past 2 months.
नहीं, अब हम 2 महीने से इंतजार कर रहे हैं ना, तो वैक्सीन तो आई नहीं यहाँ, तो लगानी कहाँ से? वैसे हम लगाने चाह रहे हैं कि हम भी लगाएं, आई नहीं तो कहाँ से लगाएं? फिर दूर के लाए वहाँ हम जा नहीं सकते हैं, क्यों? दूर है मेरे, बोल रहे थे ना आ रही है, नहीं आई.
In Pitha, another remote village of Pauri district, we hear the same story.
मतलब रजिस्ट्रेशन आप करवा भी सकते हैं, बट वो आपको कब स्लॉट मिलेगा उसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है। 18 प्लस में अभी किसी का भी वैक्सीनेशन नहीं हुआ है। अवेलेबिलिटी भी एक इश्यू है, और जाना भी चाहें तो ऐसा है नहीं कि आप रोज जाके या हर 10 दिन में जाके वैक्सीन का पता करिए और वहाँ पे आपको लग जाए, क्योंकि कैंप ही महीने 1.5 महीने में एक बार लगना है। अभी थोड़ा चैलेंजिंग है यहाँ पे वैक्सीनेशन करवाना।
In the month of May, Uttarakhand has witnessed a stark decline in vaccinations. The main cause of this decline is a short supply of vaccines by the government. There was 38% decline in vaccination in May as compared to April, and there were 8 lakh doses of vaccines administered in May as compared to 13 lakh doses in April. Meanwhile, doctors claim of not receiving fresh doses of vaccines for over a month in rural Uttarakhand. The doctors organized camps at common points earlier to vaccinate the residents of villages.
देखिए, ये चीज़ देखी जा सकती है, जब प्लेन्स में इतनी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं तो आप लोग सोच सकते हैं कि पहाड़ पे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम है। शायद अभी लास्ट 1 या 1.5 महीने से हमारा वैक्सीन नहीं आई है। सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली हमारी इसी कवरेज में आ रही है। अभी तक हमारी जो एरिया है इसमें 18 प्लस वाला नहीं स्टार्ट हुआ। इवन जो मेरा ब्लॉक है मैंने उसमें अभी तक नहीं देखा 18 प्लस वाला। लोगों को जो स्लॉट बुक कराने पड़ रहे हैं, या तो नियर बाई पौड़ी हो गया, सतपुली हो गया, यहाँ पे जाना पड़ रहा है उन लोगों को।
The Uttarakhand government has maintained silence over the alarming rate at which the vaccination is witnessing a decline across the state.
The people in these remote hilly villages who have always struggled to get even the basic necessities of their lives are now, even in a pandemic, struggling to get the access to vaccines. And while the government has not ensured a robust infrastructure to these people, it must now ensure timely vaccination so that these vulnerable people can safeguard themselves. In Pauri Gadwal with camera person Azam Siddiqui, I'm Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
Now, Prime Minister Modi reviewed the progress of India's vaccination drive. The government of India is helping vaccine manufacturers in terms of facilitating more production units, financing and supply of raw materials. The Prime Minister also instructed that steps need to be taken to bring down vaccine wastage. The Prime Minister reviewed the status of vaccination coverage for healthcare workers, frontline workers, those above 45 years and in the 18 to 44 age groups. The Reserve Bank of India held the repo rate and cut GDP growth forecast at the end of the 3-day Monetary Policy Committee meet that started on Wednesday. The RBI has cut the growth forecast for the financial year of 22 to 9.5% from 10.5%.
The ferocity of India's second COVID wave has prompted the Reserve Bank of India to cut India's growth forecast to 9.5% for the current financial year from 10.5% earlier.
The inflation print for
Saying that reviving growth is top priority, the RBI kept interest rates unchanged at 4% and flagged downside risks. The spread of rural infections followed by decline in demand indicators such as tractor and two-wheeler sales, dent on urban demand and rising crude prices.
the second measure.
Pointing out how rapid vaccination is key to economic revival, RBI says India is the vaccine capital of the world and called for a policy package to consolidate India's position as the vaccine capital of the world with leadership in production of pharma products that can change the COVID narrative.
Moreover, people and businesses are adapting to pandemic working conditions. The vaccination process is expected to gather steam in the coming months, and that should help to normalize economic activity.
Experts cheer the liquidity measures taken to boost quantitative easing, in particular the rupees 15,000 crore window for hotels, restaurants, tourism, salons affected severely by the lockdowns. They also support the additional rupees 16,000 crore liquidity support for distressed MSME units.
Well, the RBI announcement today was much on the expected lines, well calibrated and balanced. On-tap liquidity of 50,000 crore to contact services and 16,000 crore to SIDBI. What a welcome step. Of course, the challenge remains is how soon they can be put to execution, as transmission of loans remains a key challenge.
The RBI Monetary Policy Committee meets next in 2 months, by when the government says vaccinations will be 1 crore doses a day, up 5 times. States have begun to unlock slowly, even as they prepare for a third wave. Sakshi Bajaj for NDTV.
Welcome back. Now, the issue of long COVID and several cases of post-COVID complications are being reported in Delhi, with people complaining of high fever. Doctors say they are handling at least 30 patients with post-COVID complications a day. Sukirti reports.
A never-ending fight against COVID, it seems. Many of those who have caught COVID in the second wave are now returning to hospitals. In Delhi, doctors are now handling 25 to 30 post-COVID patients in their OPDs every day. And it's no longer just fatigue and lethargy. Patients need oxygen support even several weeks after discharge.
I think 70% or the 80% of the patients that we're seeing in the outpatient department these days are the post-COVID patients only. Basically, when we see lung fibrosis is known to occur in people who are elders, above 65 years of age. But this time, because the disease affected a lot of these middle-aged people also, starting from 30 onwards, plus in fact some children as well.
Fever is a common symptom during COVID, but doctors say even a month after recovery, patients are reporting high fever.
What we are finding this time is, we are finding even inflammation post-COVID, or what we call as long COVID, but I am seeing a lot of secondary infections as well, which include, obviously, as you have heard, mucormycosis is one of them, but we are seeing lung fungal infections. I have seen infections because of something called nocardia, which is an opportunistic infection.
For some, the post-COVID symptoms are so severe that they have to be admitted in ICU again.
Few patients are coming with gangrene of their digits or of their gut, or secondary complications like ruptured liver abscess.
Delhi has now come out of the worst phase of the COVID crisis, with daily cases declining to less than 500. But many of those who caught the infection back then are likely to continue the battle against its after effects. In New Delhi with camera person Sushil Rathi, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.